watching Philadelphia's NBC10. Now, live from the News Center, this is News 10 Today at Sunrise.
A Camden doctor denies any wrongdoing after he pricks a nurse with a needle during surgery. He now faces stiff punishment.
And this morning in the Amy Willard murder case, there are twice as many detectives looking for the killer of the slain star athlete.
And Mother Nature dumps more snow on the region early this morning. We'll let you know what's in store weather-wise for the rest of your day. Good morning. It is a snowy Saturday out there on this January 11th. I'm Kathy Egan.
And I'm John Blunt. Thanks for getting up. Thanks for joining us for News 10 Today at Sunrise.
Woke up surprised this morning to find the snowflakes out there. Roads are slippery too.
I didn't mind the snowflakes. It was the snow amount. And Glenn Hurricane Schwartz is in the News Center right now with the latest weather report.
That's right. This is the quick-moving snow event that we've been predicting for the last couple of days, and it's just about over. It already is over in some parts of the area, and it's just going to turn windy and cold during the day today. At the moment at the airport, the snow stopped. 28 degrees. The wind chill, though, is 8. And that wind chill may be actually dropping during the day, so it'll feel like it's closer to 0. So windy with increasing sunshine. High temperature near 30 degrees, but much of the day will be in the 20s and the wind chills near 0. The snow will be ending east and south of the city where it continues to snow, but it is starting to taper off. And that'll be the end of snow for a few days. We'll talk more about the chilly weather and the snow coming up in a few minutes.
Thanks, Hurricane. Of course, the snow tops our news this Saturday morning. It started coming down around 2 a.m. this morning, making many roads throughout the area very, very slippery. Police have already been busy with several fender benders on the Schuylkill Expressway this morning. And
joining us at the Bridge Street PennDOT yard is Nick Martino, a supervisor with PennDOT. Nick, tell us, how are the roads doing so far this morning from your perspective?
Good morning, John. Good morning, Kathy. Right now I'm standing at Bridge Street at I-95 northbound. The roads seem to be in good shape. We got an early jump on it through our at our office and our weather reports. It was showing that it was going to be coming down at 1 a.m. in the morning. We had our crews out at 11 a.m., around 35 trucks. We've been salting continuously. Our men are right now continuing to salt. So we have a good jump on it. We have a good base of salt down.
Nick, where are the tough spots for you?
Some of the tough spots, of course, is always some of your bridges and your decks, your higher elevated areas. You got to make sure that you give a good foundation of salt down there. Temperatures are below freezing. It's going to continue through the morning hours of freezing. So we want to make sure we just continue to keep salting. The traffic will build up a little bit as we go on through the night, and I think we'll be okay.
Nick, tell us about ice problems. I know people are concerned about that, especially as the wind chill goes down.
Yeah, you always got to be careful. This type of snow that's coming down, though, it seems to be a wet snow, something where the salt can easily remove this, and it'll be safer for the drivers. There'll be some minor ice spots, but we're right on top of that. Like I said, we've been salting through the night, and it should be a safe ride into the morning rush hour.
Nick, do you have the manpower you need? You get all the guys in?
Yeah, we got over 35 trucks presently, departmental and also contracts. Department-wise, through our district, we have over 300 trucks presently. We're well stocked with salt. There should be no trouble with the supplies. And like I said, we're just going to continue to have a safe trip for everyone involved.
Okay, Nick Martino from PennDOT Supervisor, thanks for getting up. Thanks for joining us this Saturday morning.
Thank you, John.
Thanks,
Nick.
Kathy.
Bye-bye.
There is Hurricane Schwartz.
And if the snow is over where you are, that's it. It has already ended in part of the area, and it will end in the rest of the area very shortly, and then winter-type temperatures and wind chills return. At the moment, here at NBC 10, it's pretty chilly out there, 24 degrees. The wind is picking up a little bit out of the west, and westerly winds mean clearing. Humidity 89%. The snow has not melted in the gauge yet, so it's not registering anything. However, we did have some snow overnight, and the precipitation at the airport for the month is now up near a ½ inch, so we're below normal in precipitation. The average high 38, the average low 23, the record 66 and 1. All right, temperatures in the 20s. It's below freezing everywhere, but it's just cloudy at the airport. The snow has ended at the airport. 41 was yesterday's high, nowhere near that today. The low this morning, 27. It's 18 in the Poconos, and look at the wind chills. This is going to be the story for the rest of the day. You've got the snow on the ground. The fluffy type stuff, you can just brush it right off of the car. Pretty easy, but it's also pretty slippery. Then the wind is blowing. That's blowing the snow onto the roads, and wind chills are in the single digits. In Allentown and the Poconos, it already feels like it's below 0. And as you'll see in a minute, that's just the beginning. There's the radar, the Doppler radar over the last couple of hours. Watch the back edge of the snow continuing to move to the east. The heaviest snow was south of the city, South Jersey and Delaware, as we had expected. We've been predicting this for the last couple of days now with this southern storm, and watch it on the regional radar, tending to move out. The Poconos got nothing out of this particular system, and it's already hitting the coast. The winds have shifted a little bit. The pressures are rising, and so there is no way that this storm stalls and we get snow all day or any of that. It's just not going to happen. It's 7 in Pittsburgh, 2 in Chicago, 7 below in Minneapolis, and look at the wind chills, 21 below in Pittsburgh and Buffalo. So it is going to be mighty cold around here during the day today and tonight. It feels like it's 0 in Atlanta, -10 in Memphis, and look at that, -69 in Bismarck, North Dakota. There's the little disturbance to the south, moving quickly out to sea with the Arctic air coming in right behind it, and that's going to be with us all weekend. But we're going to be seeing quite a bit of sunshine today. Tomorrow's weather today showing us that the lake effect clouds stay back to the west, and then some development takes place near the Gulf of Mexico, and we'll be watching that over the next several days. But a massive area of Arctic high pressure building in. The lake effect snows continue. There's Green Bay right there, and you can see a few snow flurries for the game tomorrow. But we'll be watching what happens down here in the Gulf of Mexico as this front stalls if another storm develops by the middle of next week, but it's dry until then. Here's the forecast for today. Any snow that's falling now will be ending within the next couple of hours from west to east. Windy and colder, becoming sunny. High temperature only near 30. The wind chill's getting down near 0, maybe even below 0 in some areas, and that'll hold true tonight too. Fair amount of wind tomorrow too, but not quite as windy as today, 34 degrees. By the way, temperatures in the teens tonight, and then temperatures just creep up for Monday and Tuesday, and the clouds increase on Wednesday, but it looks dry through that entire period. So once this early burst stops, it's dry but cold for the next 5 days, and the coldest feeling weather will occur today and tonight.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, snow.
Oh, goodbye, snow.
I thought you meant goodbye hurricane. Still to come on News 10 today at sunrise.
As you can clearly see, we are looking at some cloud cover beginning to roll right on through Texas right now and Oklahoma. So once again, we are looking at just a weak disturbance that could produce a little bit of light snowfall there. What else you see around the country right now, not really is a lot of cloud cover. It's just the very cold air being picked up by the sensors, the infrared sensors from the satellite pictures. And again, much of the country east of the Rockies looking at some bitter cold conditions. Much colder this morning over the southeastern part of the country. And it looks like our Arctic front will be clearing Miami come later on this afternoon as well. Current weather map looks like this. Again, a lot of isobars throughout the middle part of the nation, which means a lot of wind. Green Bay, Milwaukee, Minneapolis, St. Paul. Traveling today across Minnesota, the Dakotas. Well, you know, much of the interstate system yesterday along Interstates 90, 94 was closed. Probably is going to be reopening again today, but again, if you're going to be traveling today, take along a blanket. and just in case your car stalls or whatever, because not many people are on the roads, and if you do stall out, you may be sitting around for some time with some bitter cold air still stuck in the upper Midwest right now and beginning to ooze its way on towards the east. We'll show you what's going on throughout the Midwest right now. Yes, there is a lot of wind. Lake effect snow squalls still developing south of Lake Superior to the east of Lake Michigan. Some big time stuff around Kalamazoo, also around Marquette, and up towards Hurley, Wisconsin as well. Take a look at the numbers this morning. Minneapolis sub-zero -8, 24 below in Minot. Stiff winds continue, and the wind chill still at Minot is down to 77 degrees below zero, 51 degrees below zero in Des Moines. And much colder too for Indianapolis this morning and Chicago, running between 25 and about 40 degrees below zero. We can show you some light precipitation and some heavier snow squalls too. Here's your heavier snow squalls. The banding now brought the snow yesterday to Memphis, northern parts of Alabama, into Georgia. It rounded the curve and started moving on towards the northeast. It's not going to be sticking around too long around New York City and Long Island. But once again, if you're in the city, maybe 2 or 3 inches of snowfall. The storm begins to pull out over towards the Atlantic Ocean. And again, for Boston right now, 32 degrees. So temperature's not really all that terribly cold, but behind that front comes the Arctic air. It quickly changes over to 6 in Pittsburgh, 7 in Erie. It gets windy too, so factor in some of the wind chills, 16 in New York City. Now that's not bad, but you get back towards Erie and Pittsburgh, into the middle 20s below zero. That stuff will be heading towards the eastern seaboard for the big cities as well, especially for this afternoon. In the southeast this morning, South Florida will be looking at much colder weather for early morning tomorrow. Again, you can see the isobars. We're looking at some windy weather too. They're tightly packed, so we're looking at a pretty good pressure difference now, a gradient across the southeast. That is producing the wind. Dense fog this morning around San Francisco, California. Otherwise, the west is mostly dry, and you need a few more days of dry weather as the cleanup efforts continue from the flood rage northeast all the way down to the southeast. Getting colder along the eastern seaboard this morning, that is for sure. Looking at the current wind chills, brutally cold throughout the northern plains, heading on southward. It's down to 25 below in St. Louis. It won't be getting much better tomorrow, with the wind chills on Sunday still forecast to be close to 60 below as far south as Omaha, Nebraska, Minneapolis, and even around Des Moines, Iowa. That's a look at what's happening around the country right now. The forecast is coming up, and here comes Bob.
Chance Christine Perez is braving the elements at I-95 near the Bridge Street exit to tell us what it's like out there. Good morning, Christine.
Good morning, Kathy and John. I'll tell you, it has stopped snowing for the most part. We're just seeing a few flakes, and of course, still the roads are pretty slick. They're wet. We're seeing wet slush out here out on the roads. Of course, as you said, we are standing on I-95 near the Bridge Street exit, and traffic has been running smoothly all morning. The roads are clear. PennDOT's been out all night. They've been salting the road. They have about 35 salt trucks out there, and the roads look really good. And I'll tell you, the folks who live up in the Trenton area, down up in Atlantic County, they've been getting the brunt of this. I drove through, as I told you earlier, all the way from Trenton through Bucks County, and it was a complete whiteout all morning. So pretty scary out there, pretty nice out here still. If you are going out, use extra caution, give yourself some time. Live on I-95 in Bridesburg, Christine Perez, News 10.
Christine, have you seen any salt trucks out there?
Oh, yeah, I've seen plenty of salt trucks out here. We saw about 5 just about 30 minutes ago. They've been out all night, and they're trying to keep the roads really clear, John.
Okay. Thanks very much for that. Christine Perez on I-95.
It does look better out there, doesn't it?
It does, but but what about the side streets? You know, they're going to be a mess.
Takes a while.
Well, they'll still be snow covered, but it makes a tremendous difference when that snow is coming down versus when the snow is over. And that's what Christine has seen over the last couple of hours. The snow is over, and immediately driving conditions improve because then they can take care of the roads and clear it off, and the traffic, as it increases during the morning, that helps things as well. You're still going to have to brush off your car. You're still going to have to worry about the driveway and sliding down. It is kind of slippery. It was the fluffy kind of snow that is kind of slippery, but it's easy to move off. But we now have cloudy skies.